Welcome, everyone, to the Apoco-Larry podcast. I'm Steve, and he is...
I am Lynn Alder's husband, Larry Van Beek.
Yes. Yeah. What a great way to be known. I am known because she is mine, and I am hers.
When I first met Lynn, everybody knew the Alders, and of course I was new to town. Nobody knew the Van Beeks, and still nobody knows them. I mean, we are an anonymous group.
Everyone knows them. I've seen it on many a telephone pole.
Oh, there you go. What's that number for a good time call?
867-5309.
867-5309.
That's right.
That's my number, actually.
That's right. It was Tommy and the Two Tones.
So anyway,
but today, my friend, we're going to talk about David going to the land of Nob.
Right, and don't forget, he's running away. He was just in the last chapter. David and Jonathan pledged their friendship to each other, and David took off. So this is David running away from Saul. Yeah.
All right, let's dive right in, folks. Chapter 21 of 1 Samuel. David went to Nob, and to Amalek, the priest. Oh my gosh, I'm off to a running start already. Amalek remembered, trembled when he met him and asked, "Why are you alone? Why is no one with you?"
And that's a weird thing, Amalek trembling. Like David coming by himself somehow scared him.
Yeah.
Did Amalek have some knowledge of Saul's desire to kill David? I wonder if he knew what was going on.
Yeah, good point. Good point.
Yeah.
David answered Amalek the priest, "The king sent me on a mission and said to me, 'No one is to know anything about the mission I'm sending you on.'" You little liar, David. "As for my men..." Go ahead.
You don't expect David to lie, do you? But no. he does it quite comfortably.
Yeah, doesn't even skip over it. No. "As for my men, I have told them to meet me at a certain place. Now then, what do you have on hand? Give me 5 loaves of bread or whatever you can find." Yeah. But the priest answered David, "I don't have any ordinary bread on hand. However, there is some consecrated bread here, provided the men have kept themselves from women."
Yeah, interesting, eh? So the consecrated bread is, of course, bread for the priests, and it's weird that he will allow them to have that, but and by keeping themselves from women, we're not really 100% sure what they're talking about. Like, are they talking about from their own wives? Is this correct, or is this just from women in general?
Yeah,
I don't know the answer to that one.
Well,
but anyway, his answer is, of course, we're fine.
Yeah. The next verse.
Of course, he lied about the other thing too. So.
Yeah, I was going to say the next verse won't help us out at all, because David replied, verse 5, "Indeed, women have been kept from us, as usual whenever I set out." The men's bodies are holy even on missions when they are not holy. How much more so today? What? So the priest gave him the consecrated bread, since there was no bread except the bread of the presence that had been removed from before the Lord and placed by hot bread on the day it was taken away.
Yeah, so that's the normal bread they keep there, right?
Yeah.
This bread for the priests, or the consecrated bread.
It's an odd story already. Now
it's weird, yeah.
Yeah. Now one of Saul's servants was there that day, detained before the Lord. He was Doeg the Edomite, Saul's chief shepherd. David asked Amalek, "Do you not have a spear or sword here? I haven't brought my sword or any other weapon because the king's mission was urgent."
Yeah, and that's a strange thing too, because when Jonathan saw David before he sent him away, he had his bow and arrow, and he would have had his stuff on him, but he didn't give any of it to him to take. Now maybe he thought, I don't want my dad asking me, "Hey, what'd you do with that sword I gave you?"
I left it somewhere. I can't remember.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's kind of weird, but anyway, he doesn't have anything with him. So there's every reason. Everything he does makes this kind of scary for Ahimelech. Sorry about that.
Ahimelech. Yeah, I've said it wrong so many times. It's not funny. But that's really my job here. Verse 9. The priest replied, "The sword of Goliath, the Philistine, whom you killed in the valley of Elah, is here. It is wrapped in a cloth behind the ephod. If you want it, take it. There is no other sword here but that one. David said, there is none like it. Give it to me.
Yeah, see, that's where the Princess Bride got that
Yeah,
line, eh?
yeah. There's none
I
like it.
have not seen its equal.
Yeah, that's right. But
But
just by chance, there happens to be Goliath's sword there.
yeah, it's kind of weird. The other weird thing about Goliath's sword is his spear was huge. Remember, it had a
Hmm.
what did it have, a 9 pound head
Yeah,
on it, or was it
it was huge. I remember you emphasized that how big this spear
just
was.
it was massive, and and then David takes his sword and cuts off his head, and now he's going to use his sword. So was his sword just a normal sized sword? I've often wondered how big this sword was.
Mm, 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 mm.
What's the Scottish sword called? The one they use all the time,
Oh, I
the
can't.
claymore.
Oh, okay. Look at you know
Yeah,
your weapons.
yeah, and that's a huge two-handed sword.
Mm.
So maybe it was something like that. But anyway, David was very pleased to get this sword, and he took it with him. I don't know why he didn't keep it the first time. There's so many little things in here. Like,
Yeah,
wouldn't you have kept that as a souvenir?
yeah.
Yeah, but, but he didn't. So
Okay. Verse 10. That day David fled from Saul and went to Achish, the king of Gath. But the servants of Achish said to him, isn't this David, the king of the land? Isn't he the one they sing about in their dances? Saul has slain his 10,000s and David his Saul has slain his thousands and David his 10,000s.
yeah, so Achish and Gath. Gath is the one of the main 5 cities of the Philistines,
Mm, mm.
right? And so he has run to the Philistines,
We-
and
Weird.
then someone there kind of thought he recognized him, because remember, there's you don't have pictures of people to recognize. Well, what I don't know how they'd know the song, you know.
Yeah,
But
well, yeah.
maybe it was on it made the top 100, and
The Philistine hit parade. Oh man, that thing's got a good beat though.
yeah,
Uh,
it's such a good song. We're going to sing it, even though it's talking about killing us. It's still too good to not sing.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
Come on, come on, come on. Oh wow, wow. All right, verse
it's an
12.
earworm.
Yeah,
The
it's an
song's an
earword. I
earworm.
just can't get it out of my head. Um, wow. Verse 12. David took these words to heart and was very much afraid of Achish, king of Gath. So he pretended to be insane in their presence, and while he was in their hands, he acted like a madman, making marks on the doors of the gate and letting saliva run down his beard.
Isn't
Hmm.
that fantastic?
Well, I wouldn't mind trying this later on today.
Yes, yes. Yeah, yeah. I've often been accused. I don't have a beard though, so the spittle just runs down my chin. It's not nearly as effective.
Right, right, yeah. It doesn't make you
Yeah,
look crazy enough.
but it is something that he pretended to be crazy, and they accepted it.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. Achish said to his servants, look at the man. He's insane. Why bring him to me? Am I so short of madmen that you have to bring me this fellow here to
I
carry
think he was pointing at the rest of them.
yeah, to carry on in
You guys
front?
are dumb enough. Like
Yeah. Look, I've been in government a long time. Trust me. I've seen
I've
seen
seen my share of crazies.
I've seen my time. Am I so short of madmen that you have to bring this fellow in here to carry on like this in front of me? Must this man come into my house?
Yeah. And I don't know why they stopped the chapter here, but I guess this is where we stop, and they pick it up again in the next chapter.
So
So
beautiful. So
yeah,
beautiful.
yeah, I know. So he lies to a priest.
Yeah.
He eats the sacred bread. And remember when Saul did bad stuff? Remember when Saul did things that priests were supposed to do? He got in a lot of trouble. But David seems to get away with some of this
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Takes Goliath's sword again.
yeah,
The story
yeah.
foreshadows something because the Edomite is there.
Hmm. Yeah,
And
and yeah, Doeg,
and
Doeg the Edomite.
yeah, Doeg the Edomite.
Yeah, and who let the Doegs out? That's what they're singing.
That was number two on the hit parade.
Yeah, that was the
after
other one.
after
Yeah.
Saul has slain his thousands and David his
Well,
tens of
and then
thousands.
the other thing the other thing it doesn't mention is when he goes to this place, does he go alone? Where I don't, maybe his men weren't even with him at this point,
Mm, mm,
because and so 5 loaves of bread would have been plenty for him,
right,
because when he goes to the Philistines, he's by himself too,
right, right.
and And he hadn't even really gathered men at this point, had he?
Yeah,
But he
his
must have. But he must have had something because the priest thought he had somebody.
right, right,
Yeah.
right. Well, and didn't they have these men of renown that kind of were around him that we find out
They
later in
little
his
bit
life?
later on they are.
Yeah,
They a little later on some he gathers people around him and they form kind of an outlying group that protects people for money.
yeah,
You know, I don't know if they're like the guys in Brooklyn that
yeah,
we're protecting you from us.
yeah. Be a shame if something happened to you.
Yeah, because remember that's when he meets that guy's wife,
Right,
Namath or Naboth's
Naboth.
wife,
Isn't it Naboth?
Naboth's wife.
Like I should
Yeah,
talk about what it is and how it's
yeah,
pronounced. I should never
yeah,
mention
yeah.
that.
Like Joe Naboth, the football player.
Yeah.
So anyway, so it seems that really he's by himself at this point.
Yeah.
But it also would be weird that he carried that sword into the Philistines. Wouldn't they say, "Isn't that Goliath's sword?"
Yeah.
Because that it sounded like that was a recognizable sword.
Bizarre.
You know,
This whole
yeah.
story is a little bizarre.
It is bizarre, and they should have named the sword like they do in Lord of the Rings, the Goblin Cleaver. But they didn't. So
Oh,
so anyway, so David runs away. He gets this food. He ends up with the Philistines. Has to act like he's crazy. And don't forget, he's still the next in line to be king.
yeah.
I wonder if, and they never really say that at some point in his life he goes, that must have been just garbage that he was spewing at me about being king. This is really not working out, you know. But in that sense, in like even though he lies and he does all this other stuff, he really loves God.
Yeah. Yeah. God
Maybe
God
maybe
still
that covers a multitude of things. Hey,
yeah, God still uses
yeah,
them.
yeah, yeah, and God really loves him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just that like you're serving God, but life is just so natural and normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gives us hope, really.
Hope for the guys like us. Yeah.
Oh, my friend, that was fantastic. Folks, a little short chapter, but just some fun things in it, fun things to see, and just to think this is how God uses someone that really is imperfect, but gives us hope. We'll be back with you next week. We're on this track. We'll see what happens with David in chapter 22. But until then, I was Steve, he was Larry, and this was the Apoco-Larry podcast.